Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Great Scott. A little conversation has recently come up on Facebook, as they often do, regarding Superman and regarding a little speech that Bill, the evil villain that the bride, Uma Thurman, is going after in the Kill Bill series of movies from Quentin Tarantino. Now, I've never been a giant Quentin Tarantino fan, but I will say that I have seen most of, if not all of, his movies. And the Kill Bill movies are really good. They're really gory but action-oriented, exciting vengeance tales about a superhero-like woman who rides a motorcycle later on and wears a yellow jumpsuit and looks like she's almost wearing a costume and kind of has an alter ego herself. In the end, I think at one point when Bill thinks he has her right where he wants her, he gives her this little speech. He's almost like diatribing to her. He's almost giving her a bit of a I don't know, a lecture on maybe some of her shortcomings or some of the strengths that some other superheroes have that maybe she doesn't. And his speech goes a little something like this: there's the superhero, and then there's the alter ego. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. When that character wakes up in the morning, he's Peter Parker. He has to put on a costume to become Spider-Man. And it is in that characteristic Superman stands alone. Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. His alter ego is Clark Kent. His outfit with the big red S, that's the blanket he was wrapped in as a baby when the Kents found him. Those are his clothes. What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. That's the costume Superman wears to blend in with us. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak. He's unsure of himself. He's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race. That's what Bill says to the bride at the end of the movie, and I have said for years, and when I heard it, I was elated because there was a conversation about Superman, and it was coming from an awesome character in an awesome film that I was awesomely enjoying. But I have said for years that it is incorrect. And I think anyone who is really a fan of Superman, anyone who knows what the guy is all about, knows that Superman wouldn't be critiquing the human race. There was a recent issue of the Earth 1 series. It's volume 2. It came out, I think, on Halloween, where there's a scene where Superman loses his powers due to the parasite, taking his energy from him. And he runs around and almost gets hit by a car, and he's in pain, and he's bleeding, and he realizes, and he says to his mother later, I admire you, not her as a person, but the human race. The fact that we are so frail, and that we can be hurt so easily, and yet we go out in the world every day, we do what we have to do. When we are knocked down, we get back up. When we are beaten, we survive, and we move on, and we get stronger, and we do what needs to be done. Superman is invulnerable, and he knows this, and that doesn't make him less a hero, but he knows that for humans to be heroes, for humans to even get through everyday life, they are assuming a great risk, and they get hurt many times. They're frail little bodies, and yet they persevere, and they move, and they continue on, and oftentimes try to accomplish great things, and oftentimes do. And to Superman, this is admirable, and one of the reasons why he spends most of his life trying to help us and protect us and bring out the greater good in us and do what he can do to make things better for us in this difficult world. So when Bill says that, I believe he is saying it from the, well, there's two things. I like to believe he's saying it from the viewpoint of a supervillain. That's his. Just like Lex Luthor would see Superman and see him as an advanced, scout from an alien race who's coming here to size us up so that the rest of them can get here and kill us easily. Bill is looking at it from a point of view as he's critiquing us. He's mocking us. That's what he would do. Why wouldn't an ultra powerful alien from another race come down here and start mocking us? He knows he's better than us. I think that's his attitude. Or that Quentin Tarantino saw the Donner film and thought, oh, that's how Superman is, so I'm going to just take this little speech and write it. Many people oftentimes say he's a master of words. His dialogue in his films is what makes him this great filmmaker, and it is. And I like hearing that speech from Bill. It's just incorrect. Superman doesn't critique the human race, and even in the beginning, when he was first written, when he did kind of act like a coward to throw Lois off, the whole point was that he was trying to make sure she didn't realize he was Superman. It didn't really have anything to do with him trying to make fun of the human race. And in the beginning, he wasn't raised by the Kents. He was just this guy who came up with the Clark Kent name on his own and said it would sound unassuming and that he could blend in with everybody else. But once he was taken in by the Kents, once the mythology changed a bit, if he grew up there and he had always been Clark Kent, then he always would be Clark Kent, and Superman would always have to be the creation since that came later. Thanks, Bill, and thanks everybody for watching. And remember, always look up in the sky.